Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm AI Dana. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you that if you want to support me, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's a great help for me to grow the channel and bring you new content consistently. So, today, we're taking you on a journey through the history of the hotel that inspired one of the most iconic horror novels, The Shining, by Stephen King. We're talking about the infamous Stanley Hotel, situated in the captivating landscape of Colorado, a place filled with charm and legends intertwined with the supernatural. The Stanley Hotel was built way back in 1909 by Freeland Oscar Stanley, an inventor and successful businessman. This majestic building was created as an escape from urban life, a place where guests could enjoy the natural beauty of the Rocky Mountains. Its elegant architecture and panoramic location made the hotel a gathering place for the upper class of that era. The legends surrounding the Stanley Hotel have been the primary reason for its reputation as a hotbed of paranormal activity. Over the years, numerous eerie tales and spine-chilling experiences have been shared by guests, employees, and paranormal investigators, cementing the hotel's status as a haunted location. These stories have contributed to the hotel's mystique, attracting curious visitors and thrill-seekers from around the world. Let's delve deeper into some of the most famous legends associated with the Stanley Hotel. One of the most iconic and unsettling legends involves the sounds of a phantom pianist playing in the hotel's music room. Guests and staff have reported hearing beautiful, melancholic melodies emanating from the empty room. When they investigate, they find the piano untouched, with no living soul in sight. Some claim that this mysterious music is the work of Flora Stanley, who was an accomplished pianist during her lifetime. Room 217 at the Stanley Hotel holds a special place in the lore of this iconic establishment. The significance of this room can be traced back to the early history of the hotel and a fateful incident that allegedly occurred there. The story begins with a gas leak that took place in the early 20th century when the Stanley Hotel was still in its infancy. At that time, the hotel was operated by its founders, F.O. Stanley and his wife, Flora. During a particularly stormy night, a gas leak occurred in room 217, where a chambermaid named Elizabeth Wilson was attending to the room's guests. Elizabeth Wilson, known as Mrs. Wilson, was a dedicated and loyal employee. She entered the room with a lit candle, unaware of the gas leak. The resulting explosion was significant, causing damage to the room and injuring Mrs. Wilson. Thankfully, she survived the incident but sustained injuries, and her ordeal would forever be etched into the history of the hotel. It's said that after the accident, Mrs. Wilson's spirit lingered in room 217. Guests who have stayed in the room or visited it have reported various paranormal experiences, which many attribute to the presence of Mrs. Wilson. Guests have reported strange occurrences in room 217, such as lights flickering, unexplained knocking on doors, and objects moving on their own. These incidents are often unsettling and seem to defy logical explanations. One of the more peculiar aspects of room 217 is the occasional presence of a strong floral scent. Guests have entered the room to find the unmistakable aroma of fresh flowers, even when there are no flowers present in the room. This phenomenon is often associated with Mrs. Wilson's love for the hotel's beautiful gardens. Some guests have left their clothes in a certain arrangement, only to return and find them neatly folded or arranged in a different way. This phenomenon has been linked to Mrs. Wilson's meticulous nature as a chambermaid, suggesting that her spirit may still take pride in ensuring the room is tidy. Room 217 has become a highly requested and sought-after destination for those intrigued by the paranormal. It's a room with a rich history, where guests seek not only a comfortable stay but also the chance to experience firsthand the enigmatic presence of Mrs. Wilson. Her spirit, if indeed present, has become an integral part of the Stanley Hotel's enduring mystique, contributing to the fascination and allure of this legendary establishment. Many visitors have reported hearing the laughter and playful footsteps of children echoing through the halls, particularly during the late hours of the night. However, there are no children present at the hotel at those times. Some speculate that these ghostly children are the spirits of former guests or staff members who continue to relive their happiest moments at the Stanley Hotel. The hotel has had a long history of ghostly apparitions appearing to guests and staff. Some have seen shadowy figures walking the hallways, and others have reported seeing individuals dressed in period clothing, only for them to vanish into thin air. These appearances are often fleeting and evoke a feeling of otherworldly presence, making them a central part of the hotel's haunted reputation. The Grand Concert Hall at the Stanley Hotel has been the stage for many paranormal encounters. Guests have reported feeling a mysterious cold breeze or the sensation of being touched by an unseen hand during events or performances. The unsettling feeling of being watched in an otherwise empty room has given rise to speculations about the lingering spirits of musicians or audience members who once enjoyed the entertainment. It's during the winter isolation, when the hotel temporarily closes due to weather conditions, that its reputation as a haunted place seems to emerge more intensely. With few guests, the silence and desolation seem to give rise to a series of paranormal experiences. Some guests have reported hearing parties and laughter coming from empty rooms or seeing specters wandering through the lonely hallways. The legend of the Stanley Hotel inspired one of the greatest contemporary authors, Stephen King, to write his famous novel, The Shining. King and his wife Tabitha stayed at the Stanley Hotel during a brief visit, and the dark and unsettling atmosphere of the hotel seeped into his mind, becoming the basis for the story of the infamous Overlook Hotel, the protagonist of his novel. And so, the story of the Stanley Hotel continues to captivate and terrify, a blend of luxury, elegance, and an aura of supernatural mystery. Whether you're seeking a unique experience where history, beauty, and legends converge or prefer to enjoy the splendor of the Rocky Mountains, one thing is certain: the Stanley Hotel is destined to remain a landmark in the world of the supernatural. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and let me know your opinion in a comment. See you in the next video. Good night.